Hello everybody, my name is Ilya.
And my name is Tyler. Together make up kovray, a couple that loves to play board games.
And today I'll be teaching you how to play Feya Swamp.
Feya Swamp is a 2 to 4 player game designed by Helge and Anselm Ostertag, and it's published by Fractual Juegos.
Let's go to the table and let's learn how to play. As always, you'll begin by setting up. You'll place a swamp board in the center of your play area, matching your player count. Mix up the spirit tiles and randomly select 2 of them. Place them on the space matching the number on the back side onto the swamp board. If the tile cannot be placed, ignore it and choose a new tile instead. Next, you'll place your rounds board near the swamp board. You'll shuffle the 6 fish cards and randomly deal 4 cards in the corresponding spaces. Return the other 2 to the box. You'll then shuffle 6 score cards and place 2 of them face up in the corresponding spaces, again returning unused cards back to the box. Split the bonus tiles by round and mix them thoroughly. Place as many tiles onto the rounds board face up as there are players, and return the rest back to the box. Next, you'll place a spirit tile in each round space on the rounds board. You'll then shuffle the 8 race cards and deal 3 cards face up next to the swamp board. Return the rest back to the box. Next, you'll place the temple tiles corresponding to your player count on the swamp board. Stack the tiles for each temple in order so the tile that grants the most victory points is at the top. You'll shuffle the 10 guide cards and place 7 of them face up on the table near the swamp board. Put the rest of the cards back into the box. They will not be used in this game. If the leader card appears among those placed, put the blocking piece next to it. Otherwise, return it to the box. Next, you'll place the neutral worker pieces, the island totem, and the remaining spirit tiles in the corresponding spaces on the game board. Finally, you'll create a common reserve of pieces. This includes fish, gold, and mana gems. These resources are considered unlimited. In the rare case that you ever run out of a piece, feel free to find a replacement. You're now ready for the player setup. You'll each choose a clan board and place it face up in front of yourself. For your first few games, use the normal side of the board. Once you're more familiar with the game, feel free to tackle the advanced sides. Additionally, you can mix and match. Players can choose their own side of the board that they wish to play. Next, you'll take the settlement tiles and place them in the corresponding spaces of your board. You'll take the workers belonging to your clan. Leave 3 of them in your personal reserve. They'll be available to be used right away. The remaining 2 are placed in the corresponding settlement tiles and will be unlocked once these settlement tiles are placed. You'll take the boat pieces and place them on the 3 corresponding settlement tiles. These will also be unlocked when the settlement tiles are placed. You'll place your clan's sailing piece on the sailing track, your turn order piece on the rounds board, and your score marker on the 0 victory point space. Finally, you'll take your clan's 3 objective tiles, 20 gold, 1 mana gem, 3 fish pieces, and 1 reference card, placing them near your clan board. Before you begin playing, you'll select your starting position. You'll first select your starting guide. Starting with the last player who's played in the mud and going clockwise, you'll choose one of the 7 guide cards. This will be your guide for the first round of the game. After everyone has chosen a guide card, you'll place a fish on any that were unchosen. Each guide card has an initiative, which will define turn order for the round. A sailing range, which defines the base value of the number of spaces you can move with one of your boats. A settlement value, which defines the construction cost for each of the settlement tiles. And finally, a special ability. We'll discuss these in more details in a moment. After everyone has chosen a guide, you'll compare your initiative values and determine turn order, with the player having the lowest initiative going first, second lowest second, and so on. Lastly, you'll place your starting settlements. In turn order, you'll take turns placing one of your 3 starting settlement tiles onto the swamp board until each player has placed all 3 of their starting settlements. When placing, you'll need to follow these rules. Number 1, you may place your settlement tile in any water space adjacent to a spirit space. This includes printed spaces or tiles. Number 2, you cannot place a starting settlement tile on an island where you already have a presence. Your 3 starting tiles must be placed on 3 different islands. Number 3, you cannot place a settlement tile if it causes 2 separate islands to join into a single island. And number 4, if the tile you're placing comes with a boat piece, you must place the boat on top of the tile on the swamp board. This will be the starting position of the boat when you begin the game. In a 2-player game, you'll alternate placing settlement tiles in an unused color, following turn order and rules just mentioned. These neutral settlements will come in handy in several actions in the game. Once all settlement tiles have been placed, you're now ready to play. In Feya Swamp, you'll play as a clan of swamp dwellers striving to be the most prosperous group. To do this, you must adapt to the environment, explore abandoned temples, find the best places to fish and to settle, as well as the best partners with whom to trade. Achieve the most victory points by the end of the 4 rounds and you'll be the winner. Feya Swamp is played over 4 rounds. Each round has 3 phases: income, turns, and maintenance phase. Let's go over them. Income phase. At the start of every round, you'll receive the resources and skills matching the income shown on your clan board, and in some cases, your guide card. These are marked with a sun icon. In order to receive the income from your clan board, the corresponding settlement tile must have been built. At the start of the first round, you'll only receive 1 mana gem from the starting settlement that was built. Additionally, everyone can carry out this phase simultaneously. Turns phase. This is where the majority of the game will take place. In turn order, you'll carry out turns by choosing the following actions: placing a worker to take a boat action, placing a worker to take a ground action, or passing. In addition to the action you'll take, you may perform an exchange anytime during your turn. You can exchange a mana gem for 1 neutral worker if there are any available, or you may exchange 1 worker for a mana gem. Now let's go over the actions and how they'll work together, starting with the boat actions. To perform a boat action, you must place one of your available workers in an available boat action space. You may never place on a space occupied by another worker. Additionally, once placed, you'll sometimes be granted resources or extra victory points, or you'll need to pay mana gems in order to occupy certain spaces. All boat actions, as you may have guessed, will involve your boat pieces. When placing your worker, you will be able to perform the corresponding action with each available boat you have on the swamp board. Each boat piece can move up to a number of spaces as indicated on the sailing range of your guide card, plus the bonus you have on your sailing track on your own clan board, and any other bonuses. When moving your boat, you can only move through water spaces, and you can never end your movement on top of another boat piece, but you can pass through water spaces occupied by other boats. After movement, the boat must perform the corresponding action when it completes its movement. A key rule in this game is you cannot move a boat piece if the corresponding action is not performed. This means in order to move a boat piece, you must also carry out the action selected by the worker. Now the specifics, starting off with fish. Depending on your movement capacity, you can move each of your available boats onto a space that has a fish of the season. These are shown for your current round on the round's board. Then, for each boat that performed the action, take as many fish pieces from the common reserve as the fish capacity allows, and put them into your personal reserve. Your fish capacity is represented by this icon. Each available icon corresponds to the granting of 1 fish piece per each boat that performs that action. You can also increase this capacity for 1 turn by spending the corresponding bonus tile. We'll explain bonus tiles in a moment. Trade. You'll move your boat based on your movement capacity, aiming to be adjacent to at least 1 settlement. Then, once moved, you'll place fish pieces from your personal reserve on any settlement tile that is adjacent to your boat, following these rules. Number 1. You can place fish pieces on any adjacent settlement tile, even if it has fish pieces present. Number 2. Each settlement can hold up to a maximum of 3 stacked fish. Number 3. If placed on a settlement that is not your own, you'll gain gold for the fish. If it's the first place fish, you'll gain 4 gold, second, 3, and third, 2 gold. If the settlement is in your color, you will not gain any gold, but the fish will become victory points later on. We'll explain this in the celebration action. Number 4. If the settlement tile is part of the island that contains the island totem, each fish piece that you place on a tile of a clan other than your own will grant you 1 extra gold. Build settlement. You'll move your boat based on your movement value next to a space where you can build a settlement. Each boat can build 1 settlement tile in that free adjacent space as long as the building will not join 2 or more islands or completely block off access to a boat or a temple space. In order to build a settlement, you must pay the cost for each settlement tile. 3 gold for each spirit space or tile present on the island in question, and as much gold as indicated by your guide card settlement value. After paying the cost, you'll place the leftmost available settlement tile from any of the 4 tracks on your clan board. If the tile comes with a boat piece, you'll place the boat piece on top of the tile you just built. Additionally, if there are any bonuses on the space of the tile you just constructed, you'll gain them. Each track will improve your clan in different ways as settlement tiles are placed, increasing your fishing value, granting you additional workers, boats, improving your sail value, and granting you victory points. Sail. Depending on your movement capacity, you can move each of your available boats to a free space in the swamp. This is the only way you can move your boats without additionally taking an action. Additionally, this is the only action you can use to reach the spaces in which the temple tiles are located. When you reach the temple space, you'll take the topmost temple tile and gain the corresponding reward. You can only take one of each type of temple tile during the game. Additionally, there can be more than one boat in each of the temple spaces. Now that's the boat actions. Next, let's talk about the ground actions. Improve sailing. You'll move your sailing piece on your sailing track one space to the right and immediately get the victory points for this move. Doing this may increase your sailing value. Celebrate. You'll choose an island on the swamp board on which to throw a festival for the gods. You'll receive one victory point for each settlement tile that is on the island with fish pieces on top of it, regardless of the settlement's colors. Additionally, if you held a celebration on the island that contains the island totem, gain an extra 3 victory points. Then, each player including yourself will gain 1 victory point for each fish they have on a settlement tile or tiles in their own color. After scoring, you'll return all the fish on the island back to the supply. The next action we'll talk about is add spirit worship. When taking this action, you'll take a tile from the common reserve and add it to any empty space on the swamp board following these rules. Number 1. It must be adjacent to a settlement tile or a spirit tile. Number 2. You cannot place it on an island that already has an island totem on it. Number 3. You cannot join 2 or more islands by placing the tile. And number 4. You cannot block off access to a settlement tile or a temple by placing it. After placement, you'll move the island totem to the spirit tile that was just placed. Now that's the actions. After taking either the boat or a ground action, you'll check to see if you've achieved one of the race objectives. If so, you'll place your objective piece on the card in the available space of the highest value, and immediately gain the corresponding victory points. Examples of these include having at least 2 settlements on 5 islands, unlocking 2 workers on your clan board, obtaining at least 30 gold in 1 turn during the trade action, and more. For full explanation of all of these, reference the corresponding section in the rulebook. Now, instead of taking a boat or ground action, and if you no longer have workers, you can instead pass. In order to pass, you'll follow these steps. Number 1. Take one of the round bonus tiles from the corresponding round. These tiles can be used once in any round, and you can use more than 1 tile per turn. In the first round, you'll see tiles that add to your sailing range, fishing capacity, and decrease settlement building costs. In the second round, you'll see tiles that allow you to perform a special action during your turn without having to place a worker. Round 3 tiles offer a one-time exchange you can make, and lastly, round 4 tiles will grant you victory points. Step number 2. If your guide card has a bonus for passing, collect this reward. Number 3. You'll take a new guide card that is different from the one you return for the next round. If it has fish pieces on it, you'll gain those for your supply. And finally, you'll turn over your new guide card in front of you, as a reminder that you cannot play anymore in this round. And if you're the last person to pass, you'll take the spirit tile from the round board and put it on the swamp board, following the rules we just discussed, and add spirit worship ground action. After the turns phase, you'll proceed to the maintenance phase. Follow these steps. Number 1. Each player collects their workers from the swamp board. Number 2. You'll place the neutral workers back into the common reserve. Number 3. Turn over the fish card for the current round. This will help you keep track of rounds. Number 4. Place a fish piece on each unselected guide card. And finally, number 5. Each player will flip their guide card face up, and based on the initiative values on these cards, you'll rearrange turn order for the next round. You're now ready to begin the next round, starting with the income phase. You'll keep playing, building settlements, collecting fish, celebrating, and reaching the various abandoned temples. At the end of the 4th round's turns phase, you'll skip the maintenance phase and proceed to final scoring. Here, you'll first score each of the islands. For each island, you'll multiply the number of settlements that you have by the number of spirit spaces that are on the same island. Then, you'll score points for each of the 2 scorecards on the round board. For example, here you'll receive 5 victory points for each island on which you have exactly 1 settlement. You can see examples of scoring and descriptions of each of these cards in the rulebook. Next, you'll score 1 victory point for each fish that is still on your settlement tiles on the swamp board. And finally, you'll score 1 victory point for every mana gem and 10 gold you have remaining in your personal reserve. At this point, the player with the most victory points wins. If there's a tie, you'll share the victory. Now, we briefly mentioned these, but as they're a crucial part of the game, we thought we'd give you a quick overview of each of the guide cards' abilities. The leader can block a specific action space on the swamp board during the income phase. This lets you reserve the spot for the round so only you can place a worker there. The sailor, monk, warrior, and merchant all have an income skill, granting movement on the sail track, 2 mana gems, 2 neutral workers, or 8 gold respectively. The fisher increases your fishing capacity for the round, while the builder provides an action space exclusively for you, where you may perform the build settlement action during the turn phase. Lastly, the artist, storyteller, and wiseman have an ability that triggers when you pass, with the artist granting you 3 victory points and the ability to perform a celebration action, the storyteller 3 victory points for each temple tile you have, and the wiseman 3 victory points for each island where you have the most settlement tiles, including ties. Now, the other quick aspect we'll mention is the advanced clan board sides, which feature asymmetry which you can use to your advantage. Let's take a look at these. The crocodile clan includes an extra worker piece that can be unlocked. The turtle clan unlocks up to 2 extra mana gem income and has fewer spaces without benefits. The frog clan unlocks the entrance on the sailing track and improves fishing capacity before any other clan, but it has more spaces without benefits than any other clan. And finally, the salamander clan includes 5 special salamander tiles that allow you to adapt to the development of the game better. When unlocking a space with this icon, add a tile of your choice to the space that best suits your strategy.
And that's Feya Swamp.
Do you have any questions? Leave them in the comments down below and we'll get back to you as soon as we can.
And if you found this video helpful, make sure you hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button if you're new here, because we love talking and teaching board games.
And hit that little bell, because then you know when our next video comes out and we can all partake in the joy of board gaming. Now, for our question of the day, what would you do in a swamp?
What would you do in a swamp? Yeah.
Would you swim? Would you build a little raft? What would your swamp habitat be?
I would be staying on top of the water or not even in it. So.
You don't want to dip your toe in a little seaweed?
No.
Well, thank you so much for watching and we'll catch you
in the next one. Bye!